But if you don't have the reach, and you don't have the money, and you don't have the means to sort of turn this into a thing, and you're just starting off and you're independent, I don't know how you can make it anymore. I don't know how you can ever grow as a gun channel on YouTube anymore. And I think that's what they're intending to do. I think they're trying to make YouTube a hostile environment for Second Amendment folks. Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be a rough cut of sorts. In this video, I just want to talk about the sort of situation with YouTube and gun channels right now. I also want to sort of talk about how I intend to sort of handle that or manage my place in that in the future, as well as, how we as a gun community and how gun channels in general are going to need to adapt and sort of deal with this situation that YouTube is presenting us all with. So what am I talking about? So I've seen many reports, and then I just spoke to, face to face with a good friend of mine who I've done many YouTube collaborations with in the past. I'm not going to mention his name only because I didn't tell him that I would say anything, and I'm just kind of doing this on a whim. But he told me recently that his entire channel has been demonetized. Every single video. He was given the opportunity to appeal it, I think, and take down the offending videos, but then he wasn't given a list of what those offending videos were, so he ended up with his entire channel demonetized. So I think that means that his videos are all still playable, still viewable to whoever, but he cannot advertise any videos on his channel. Now, this particular guy hasn't uploaded for over a year, so I wonder if that has something to do with sort of the state of how YouTube is treating him. I don't know. But I've also seen many reports of very different, a wide range of other gun YouTube channels who have had their entire channels demonetized. And in many cases, it seems to be these are sort of smaller channels. I don't really think of myself as a big channel. I'm not trying to suggest anything there. I'm just saying that as far as like subscriber count, maybe reach in general, these are somewhat on the smaller side, maybe mid to small. And what I'm perceiving, or what I'm sort of theorizing here, is that YouTube is picking off these smaller channels and demonetizing them because YouTube, as whoever's doing this, whatever entity within YouTube, is looking at them and saying, we can probably get away with demonetizing these guys and sort of wiping them off the map, and we won't get a huge pushback or outrage about it because they're smallish channels and their subscriber base, their audiences are not as huge as, let's say, your Hickok 45s and your Iraq Veteran 8888s and your Nut and Fancies and your much bigger, very gun-focused YouTube channels, Demolition Ranch and so forth, that have a huge audience, huge. Maybe they're avoiding touching those guys because they know that there will be some sort of a backlash, some sort of a reaction to that if they did. And they're trying to avoid that. That makes some sense. I mean, this is kind of my theory right now. I don't have anything to back it up, but it seems that they're attacking sort of the small-ish channels, knowing that they won't receive a big backlash or big pushback. But that's still a canary in a coal mine because it could mean that other gun-focused YouTube channels will see complete demonetization at some point. I have not seen this yet. I've seen plenty of videos demonetized. Some of my most recent gun videos are demonetized the day they go up. So probably before they hit 1,000 views, I get notified that they're demonetized. So, I mean, and I'm not seeing this on videos I do that are not gun related. So knives, backpacks or other subjects. The BB gun video I did, not demonetized, got full monetization on that one. So it does seem that either there's somebody kind of with their finger on the button waiting for me to upload, or there's some sort of algorithm in place when it sees these gun-related tags, and the meta tags do seem to make a difference, because if I remember right, on the videos that I've posted that don't have gun-related meta tags, I mean, they may not do as well, perform as well, because they're not reaching the audience that's searching for that particular thing. But they also might avoid demonetization. It does appear that YouTube is going after the low-hanging fruit, if you will, the channels it can attack and it can take down without serious repercussions, because there wouldn't be serious repercussions. Anyway, so what do I see, where do I see this going? Eventually, like I said before, kind of a canary in the coal mine. I think YouTube is eventually going to be demonetizing the majority of gun content on YouTube, as much as it can find. And maybe something you can do to avoid that is don't tag your videos to advertise or make them searchable for that type of content, because that might just help them demonetize that stuff further. What that means in the long run for smaller YouTube channels and for folks just starting up. I mean, I've been on YouTube going on 10 years. I've got a variety of types of content. So I've got a good amount of gun stuff, a good amount of knife and outdoor stuff, a little tiny bit of motorcycle stuff at this point, and other sort of things, camping and outdoor gear related to all of that. So gun content probably makes up half or less of my content in general, which I think, and I'm just theorizing here, I think has insulated me a little bit from whatever this thing is that YouTube's doing. I don't think it's going to insulate me permanently, and it could very well be that my entire channel gets demonetized at some point. But this means that anybody who's just starting out and wants to make a gun YouTube channel and make that their full-time gig, I can't see it happening if you're just starting off. I mean, if you're already up to a high level, military arms channel, some of these other ones, you can figure out how to make your living through, and I'm not saying any one person does any of this stuff, but you can do affiliate links. You can do, I don't know, there's a number of different things. You can have some sort of sales set up in order to bring in revenue for your channel, merchandise, and so many other things. You can have multiple revenue streams if you already have the reach. But if you don't have the reach, and you don't have the money, and you don't have the means to sort of turn this into a thing, and you're just starting off and you're independent, I don't know how you can make it anymore. I don't know how you can ever grow as a gun channel on YouTube anymore. And I think that's what they're intending to do. I think they're trying to make YouTube a hostile environment for Second Amendment folks that want to promote Second Amendment ideas, talk about guns, show gun content. They're trying to make it a hostile place for that. So what are our options as far as sort of spreading the word and spreading the ideas in the new public square, which is the internet, which is these common social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth? What can we do? At this point, I'm not even sure. I don't really know. I don't have any big ideas or solutions. I don't do this full time. I've told you this many times, but I don't do YouTube full time, never did. So I can revert to doing it to the level of a hobby. And I've kind of done that in this past year. I've definitely cut back in a major way on my video production. But I could be cutting back even further. And I wouldn't be surprised to see many, many more YouTube channels cutting back. But I hope that people will continue to post gun content. I was going to say good quality gun content, but hey man, whatever you can post, just post it. If it comes down to the fact that you don't have 10 hours to spend on a video in prep time, in travel, in the ammo expenditure, in the editing, in all the other stuff, it could all end up being videos just like this one, where maybe I show you something that's even in my car and it's just me and I'm just talking to my phone. It could end up being that this is the type of gun content we see in the future. And if that's the case, dude, don't be too surprised, because the ability to finance larger projects, really detailed, high production level videos, it's kind of going away. I don't know what to say, man, but that's kind of where it is. I guess one other option is, if you're interested in guns, if you're enthusiastic about guns, start a YouTube channel that isn't primarily focused on guns. It's primarily focused on something else. Barbecuing, I don't know, other man stuff, motorcycles, guitars, you name it. Any other awesome, cool stuff that you think dudes are into, and then sprinkle in some gun stuff. You could be all about guns, but you got to have something else that you're interested in too, right? I hope you are. Like, I love guitars. I play a little bit. I like my motorcycles. I like figuring out how to cook a good steak. I enjoy some of this other stuff, camping and all these other things. And if I can kind of focus my channel on some of that stuff and then sprinkle in gun content, maybe that's gonna skirt by and maybe YouTube will allow that. I don't know. I'm not super surprised that things are going in this direction. I'm disappointed, but I'm not shocked. And that's part of the reason 10 years ago I decided to be a diverse channel with lots of different types of content. Not only guns, not only knives, a good mix of a lot of stuff. I've tried to do that over the years. Perhaps that's why I'm surviving now. Perhaps it's because I've been on YouTube for 10 years and maybe YouTube is a tiny bit scared of just completely demonetizing my channel. Probably not, though. All right, guys, that's all I have to say for now. Please leave your comments and your suggestions down below. I want to start a discussion on this subject. I'd love to hear what you guys think as far as how things are going, how we can get by as a community. I'm not talking about my channel specifically. I'm not worried about myself getting demonetized, but how as a community we can survive sort of this wave of demonetization and clearly this effort by YouTube to turn the whole platform into a hostile environment for us. Talk about it down in the comments down below. Until then, thank you for watching. I'm Late Boy Scout. We'll see y'all later.